We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
Boom! Headshot!
Hey, it's Clay. How you guys doing? I got another League of Legends video for you. This time I want to talk about Jungling 101. This is coming from a beginner for a beginner. Jungling is probably the role in League of Legends that I have spent the least amount of time on, and I'm trying to learn it, trying to get at least a basic idea and understanding of how to jungle properly. Just because it's good to be well-rounded. It's, you know, if you go into a game saying I'm going to play AD carry every single game, that's not going to work. You're going to get into fights because somebody else wants to play AD carry, and it's just not going to work very well. So it's good to be well-rounded. It's good to have a variety of roles and styles that you can play, at least having one champion or maybe two in each role or position or spot that you can play and be successful with, at least at a moderate basic level, I think is a very good thing. So that's what I'm trying to do. My jungler of choice at this point is Dr. Mundo. I really like him because he's kind of a beast. Late game, he can turn very, very tanky, and I understand kind of how to do that role late game. And his early game is actually not horrible. His, I believe his jungle clear times is usually what they refer to it, is actually pretty fast. His only real weakness is that he's not a fantastic ganker. He doesn't really have a gap closer. Really, his ganks all depends on landing those Qs for those cleavers. But just kind of want to talk a little bit about the very basics of jungling. First and foremost, you want to start off, make sure your runes and masteries have you set up for lots of armor. Not going to really get into a very specific setup of tips or whatever, just because it's hard to make a really, something that is just kind of a coverall. Because every jungler is a little bit different, every person is a little bit different. So just to make sure that you have a lot of armor, I think is very important as a jungler, because the creep monsters do physical damage. So in order to get your way through the jungle without losing a ton of health, it is important to have a lot of armor. Second of all, in terms of just kind of your basic route, it's good to have, you want to make sure you have Smite as one of your summoner spells, and it's good to save that for either the blue or red buff, depending on where you start with. I know like a jungler like a Mumu will start with the blue buff. You can go ahead and use your Smite on the blue buff. In terms of a start, I actually started with Wraiths. If you'll note, I started here, and then I went to red, and then I did Golems, and at that point I went back because I was getting a little bit low. But the reason I started with Wraiths is because the Wraiths will actually come up, and I got a nice leash from Jarvan and Garen, so I was able to finish the Wraiths before the red actually even came up and spawned. You can do the same thing over here. You can start Wolves, and if you get some help from your support and from your AD carry, you can actually probably finish Wolves, and then by the time the blue comes up, you can move on to that. So having a nice little basic route is usually a good idea. It's good to buy some pots or something that will kind of help you, give you some sustain through the jungle. Is always a really good choice. And right here you can see I just used my Smite on the blue buff. And I'm going to pick it up here. So basically, I mean, it's really not that complex. You just kind of work your way through the jungle. You just kind of, I mean, I'm sure that at more of an advanced level, you will probably come with a more optimized, more very specific and drawn-out pattern and path. And a lot of it will also, you'll kind of have almost like a planned gank, depending on, so in the top lane, we have Garen versus Jace. And it looks like Jace is really pushing up. So if I would have known that Garen is going to have a weak matchup against Jace, I could have planned a level 4 gank. So I would already be in position to gank Jace as he pushes up. So, or you could do the same thing with mid lane or bottom, kind of do like a planned gank. And usually the rule of thumb with your ganking is that the sooner you do the ganks, the higher the risk, if that makes sense. Because if you think about it for a moment, let's just take a look at the scores. I have 21 creep kills, Xin Zhao has 13. And so basically if I were to go and try to do a gank at this point, Xin Zhao is going to keep, right now he's at red buff, he's just going to keep farming, and he's going to get a creep score lead on me. He's up to 15 now because I had to go back. He's going to keep farming, he's going to keep trucking along, no big deal. Whereas I'm standing there waiting for the gank, it kind of wastes time. And sure, if you get the kill, it's definitely worth it. But if you don't, you end up wasting a lot of time. You're not spending that time farming. You're not getting that creep score. You're letting the other jungler get ahead of you. So you kind of want to use that as like a metric that you want to try to stay ahead of the enemy jungler. Just like in lane, if you're an AD carry, you want to stay ahead of the other AD carry. So at this point, I see that Lulu disconnected. So I am going to go up and help Ashe out. This is actually, I think, a good point I made. You can see I tried to land a cleaver there, and I missed on Draven. Ashe is getting some really nice slows. There's a nice cleaver, so he's getting almost perma-slowed. There's another cleaver and another couple of arrows. Draven, you need to get the heck out of there, but he's going to go down right there. Nice job. Okay, so a really good job by Ashe and I to pick up a kill there. And that's just kind of another really basic point about jungling, is that you are in a position to really help out your team in a way that the other lanes can't. You know, the mid laner, Jarvan in this case, he really couldn't do much to help Ashe out right there, even though Lulu's support DC'd. He really couldn't do much to try to help him out. And so it's my job. It's my job to rotate over and to try to help out a lane. If a lane looks like it's really getting shoved in and demolished, it's your job as the jungler to try to help them out. It's your job to try to do your best to try to help, give them a little bit of edge and a little bit of boost. I actually saw Xin Zhao there. He was counter-jungling me. That's another thing we can talk about in a little bit. But you are in a position to roam and to help and to be all over the map, and to be somebody who is constantly capable of helping your team, helping them to stave off, and if they're having a bad game so far, so in this instance right here, it looks like Garen is getting double teamed, so I'm going to come in, I'm going to ward off, and I'm going to try to, stave off Xin Zhao and Jace to make sure that Garen stays alive. I do not want this gank to be successful. I'm going to try to scare them away. Basically, my job is to kind of be somebody who you need to constantly be in communication with your team. You need to be eyes all over the map, trying to see what lane is getting pushed, what lane is struggling, what lane is needs your help. All of those things are very important to consider when you're jungling. It's definitely of very high importance to have high map awareness. That is another really important tactic. Even buying wards and placing them. One thing I did not do this game, but a really good idea is if you're going to do some counter juggling, it looks like J4 is going to get a nice pickup there on Misfortune. Oh, nice job using his ignite. But putting some wards down in the counter jungle or in the river to keep an eye on where your enemy jungler is a really, really good idea. We've got a ward here in the river here on the bottom side, but there's no ward here on the top side. So because Garen is not really doing a good job of warding his top lane, it's my job to try to help him out and try to kind of, support him in that regard. So, and I guess support is probably a good word to use, because in some ways as a jungler you can kind of think of yourself as the support of all the lanes. If one of your teammates is doing bad, you have the ability to kind of help them and prevent that lane from snowballing out of control. If, at this point I've got a good amount of CS. I've got 39 CS, I've got 1 kill, and starting to get some good items. I don't want to tackle those golems. I got myself in a little bit over my head there. But you are an ability to help out the other lanes in ways that, you really can't do with other roles. And then kind of when you get towards the mid game and late game, it's important to make sure that you are, a strong dragon presence. Because you have Smite, you have a unique ability to really nail down those dragons when it starts to get low. You have, continued ability to roam if your team wants to help push towers. So right here we can see Xin Zhao's trying to come and steal our blue, but Jarvan was taking it. And nice job by Lulu to come over and slow him, polymorph him, and I'm able to pick up a kill there on Xin Zhao. So really nice job by my team. Jarvan was here trying to take blue, which is great because I certainly do not need it, using my smite there to help him out. And then Lulu did a really nice job of rotating over, although it does look like we lost a tower. But as you can see, in the jungle, it's really important to work with your team, to flow with your team, to be moving with your team. In one of the very first games that I was jungling, I was just so focused on farming through the jungle and running through the jungle as much as I could that I did not do a good job of really watching my teams, watching their lanes, seeing how they're doing, and trying to help them out in any way that I can. I mean, it's just, you are in such a unique opportunity to have this global presence in the game that it's really a shame and a waste if you fail to have that kind of presence. Right here, it looks like Jarvan is chasing after Misfortune, so I'm going to come help him out. You know, anytime that I'm able to come join this fight, I'm going to land a cleaver right there to slow her, allow Jarvan to get the last hit. You know, what if her flash came off cooldown right at that moment, and what if Jarvan wasn't in range to get that last auto attack and she gets away? You know, just being there to have your presence is extremely important. You know, so you want to farm, you want to keep going, moving through the jungle, killing the creeps as much as you can, but you also really want to be focusing on helping your team. Because really, as a jungler, you can do that better than anyone else, like I said before. So, now kind of to talk a little bit about transitioning into late game. You know, because I'm not playing a heavy ganker jungler, you know, somebody like Shaco, he is very dependent on getting some early kills. If Shaco doesn't have, you know, 2 or 3 or 4 kills at this point via ganks, you know, he's going to be really behind. He's more of like an assassin type jungler, I guess I would say, whereas Dr. Mundo is more of a tanky jungler. So at this point, I'm just trying to get some good farms, get some good items, so I can get farmed up, so I can be a tank. Now here's another point. I can see they're pinging after Jace, and Jarvan is moving in position. So I'm going to come in and do my best to try to snuff this and try to support this gank as best as I can. At this point, I'm trying to cut off an escape route. Looks like Jarvan is able to land an ultimate there, so I think they're able to get a couple of cleavers in my W just for a little bit extra DPS. But basically, whatever you can do to try and support your team. So now here's another example. I see that Jarvan's up top with Garen, and Misfortune is pushing this mid lane. So I want to come in and try to scare her off to make sure that she's not going to get too many hits on the tower so that the tower doesn't go down needlessly. Again, I'm in a position where I can do a lot of really good things for my team. It looks like Jarvan got into a fight here in the enemy jungle, but I don't know if I'm able to do anything about it. So, looks like he gets a nice kill there on Xin Zhao. I kind of want to watch this. It looks like he's getting kind of low. Misfortune is going in. She's snuffing blood. And, oh, he can get a nice knock up there. Is he going to be able to get this? I think he just landed an Ignite, and, oh, down she goes. Okay, so I believe he picked up the kill via Ignite. Good job by Jarvan. I believe that actually Jarvan was smurfing. He was quite a good player, and I'm pretty sure that he was smurfing. So, now, look at this. Because I know that Xin Zhao is dead, I'm going to take this opportunity to counter jungle. This is something that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Xin Zhao was actually doing it quite extensively. If you remember early in the game, I saw him over here by red buff. He had actually taken, I believe, my red and my golems. So counter jungling basically is when you are going into the enemy jungle to try to take some of their stuff to try to limit their farming ability. As I see that Draven is going in. Nice flash by... Nice job by Ashe, and it looks like, oh, looks like Garen is coming just at the right time to prevent Draven from getting away. But nice job on. Okay, very good. So I used my ultimate there on Xin Zhao to make sure that I would not go down, as Garen picks up the kill on the fleeing Draven. And oh, I missed my Q there. If I would have able to land my Q, I think we would have had a decent chance at getting that kill. But oh, I don't want to face check that brush. That's not smart. Thankfully, Misfortune Birdie missed, and I'm going to flash over this wall halfway safely. Although, if I hadn't flashed there, I maybe could have led them right into Jarvan. If in hindsight, I should have done a better job of having good map awareness there. So, at this point, I know Xin Zhao is still down or coming back. I'm going to try to take his wraiths. And I see Jarvan kind of diving on Misfortune. She's about half health, so I think, hey, I'm going to help us out. I'm going to support Jarvan. Maybe we can get a lucky pickup here. We've thus far stuffed out. Oh, I missed my Q. That's not going to help. And Xin Zhao's coming in too, but so is Jarvan. And, okay, they shut me down, but we do pick up the kill there on Misfortune. And it looks like J4 going to get a nice knock-up ultimate. And one more hit. There's the double kill. Nice job by Jarvan. He's getting extremely fed at this point because he has been playing like a boss because he is on a smurf. It does look like Jace is actually pushing down this top turret. Garen needs a little bit extra help and loving. But yeah, just to kind of take a look at where things are at. I've got 69 farm, 3 kills, 5 assists. I think this is one of the more telling statistics of this game for me so far, that I've done a really nice job of getting in the middle of my team's fights. I've been present around the map as much as I possibly can. Garen is probably losing top lane. Not horribly. He's down in farm, but he is up 2 kills. Draven versus Ashe. Probably about even. I want to say that a kill is worth about 10 CS, so that, I guess that probably puts them at just about even. Ashe does have a lot more assists, so maybe perhaps that's not quite so even. And then Jarvan is absolutely face-rolling Misfortune in mid lane. So overall, and then actually if you compare myself to Xin Zhao, I'm up about 25 CS and up 2 kills and 4 assists, so that's definitely good. Gonna try to scare off Draven here at this tower. I'm not too afraid of him just because I'm starting to get a little tanky. If you look at my build, I actually went into a Spirit of the Ancient Golem, give me that health and that armor, and most specifically that health regen. On Mundo specifically, it's really, really nice to get a lot of health regen, and it gives you some nice passives against monsters, and also reduces the duration of slows, stuns, and etc. all CC. That's a really nice passive to have. That tenacity is really, really nice, especially as Mundo trying to play as more of a tank. But basically, as Mundo, my goal is to build a lot of health, and now specifically looking at the enemy team, we've got a Jace, Misfortune, Draven, Xin Zhao. They are all building attack damage. Pretty much their entire team is AD, so because of that, I'm going to stack health and armor. Now, I've got another skirmish coming here at the top lane. Can I get a Q off? There's a Q on Soraka, and because of that, she is going to go down. Just showing you how effective it is if to join those to join in on those engagements, to try to help out Garen, and we're able to pick up a kill. It just shows you how being in the right place at the right time can be really, really important and effective. So at this point, it's been kind of a strange game. I feel like I've done a good job of working through my jungle. I've got a good amount of CS. I also have done a really good job of assisting my team. I've got 6 assists, 3 kills. I've really been present throughout the map in a big way. Starting to get, I believe at this point I'm moving towards, yeah, it looks like I'm moving towards I picked up a Ninja Tabby, and also moving towards a Warmogs, which is going to be an absolute crucial item for my main man, Dr. Mundo. We can see some pings going off on Dragon, so that means, hey, we got to get over there. We got to try to contest this. Ashe, Lulu, Jarvan, and I are all kind of converging. Nice arrow by Ashe to initiate. Jarvan actually steals the jungle, and we get a nice kill on Draven. So really great job by our team to really take advantage of them going for a very greedy dragon. An excellent ward really enabled us to pick that up. Just going to try to get this farm, make sure that it does not go to waste. But a really nice job by my team to rotate into position and contest that dragon just in time. Going for a 2-man dragon with Jace off in the top lane, Soraka dead, Misfortune nowhere to be found. That was pretty risky on their team. I really think that we were able to capitalize and take advantage of it. So a nice job by our team. And as you can see, that J4 is absolutely going berzonkers right now at 10-1 with 137 CS. That dude is definitely smurfing. But right now, just trying to tank some turret shots, trying to scare off Draven. Allow Ashe to just slowly pick down on that turret. As I go over here to try to steal the golems, but I see Xin Zhao, nice pick up there to try to make sure that we don't get flanked. Just taking another look here, and yeah, just kind of putting pressure on this turret, picking up some CS. Ashe is going to whittle that thing down. She's doing a good job. I want to take a look at her build just a sec. Bloodthirster and Berserker's Greaves and Adoran's Blade, so definitely a solid build. Probably going for a Phantom Dancer, I would guess, or perhaps a Blade of the Ruin King, although that'd be a little bit multiplicative with your Bloodthirster. But we will see. There we go, able to pick up a Warmogs, and starting to really stack health. You really want to do that on Mundo because he is so tanky. Also picking up some armor. I believe at this point I'm going for a Randuin's if I want to make, if I remember correctly. It's because I felt like it was important to get health and armor. Because you want the health with Mundo, but you want the armor because the enemy team is stacking a lot of AD. We're definitely in a really strong position. We're up about 5k gold. We're up 10 kills. And we lost some turrets. Actually, we are, I want to say, or even in turrets it looks like, but another team fight going to break out here, and at this point, as we start to move into more of the late game, my role is to absolutely be the damage sponge and the initiator. Nice job by Ashe and Jarvan. That was actually really cool. my initiating. I'm just kind of chilling here, not really doing much, but I'm going to pick up a kill on Xin Zhao with a nice cleaver. But my job is primarily to soak up damage. We have Ashe to initiate. Jarvan has good initiate. But I'm here to soak up damage. Going to get a couple shots off on this turret, but really, I want to make sure that... Look at this right now. So you can see that my team is starting to get attacked, and I'm going to jump right in the middle of this, pop my W, and just try to really get some damage off. Going to chase down Draven. Going to try to land some Qs. Probably should be saving my W. Just any little bit extra DPS could help. One more Q, and I think it's time to back off. But it looks like J4 has not had his fill. I want to take a look. Is he going to get this kill on Draven? Oh... Shut down. Draven down to about 100 health. That is unfortunate. That is much too bad. But good try there. Going probably being a little bit aggressive. I mean, there's really we're up ahead. We're up. So if we don't want to throw the game, but being aggressive is not really a bad thing. I don't think at this point. Because if we would have got Draven, that really would have sealed the deal. Just gonna pick up some extra farm here in the top lane. Let's see here. What did I buy? I bought a Warden's Mail last time out, so I definitely think I'm going towards that Randuin's Omen. And at this point, let's see here. I've got 193 armor, about 3,500 health. I'm going to be pretty tough to deal with at level 14 from this enemy team. Failing to really get a good balanced team, no AP carry, just a lot of attack damage. So, from their perspective, building some sort of like a Black Cleaver or a Last Whisperer is going to be absolutely crucial as I specifically start to stack armor. Looks like there's a bunch of fighting going on in the bottom lane, but I'm kind of late to the party. Just been farming a little bit, getting my CS up, trying to really make sure I have plenty of money. Ashe with a nice job on that double kill. She actually has been having herself quite a solid game, going 5-2-9, and getting another kill on Xin Zhao. So making his day rough. He is going 1-9-2. Definitely a rough day for him. I'm definitely out jungling his face. But at this point, I think I'm going to solo drag him. Gave it a ping, thought Jarvan might come help me out, but I think I can handle it. I've got a lot of health regen. Just going to keep pounding my W, my E, and my Q just to get a lot of damage off. Every little dragon that we can do is definitely going to be helpful. And at this point, I'm so tanky that I can probably do it solo. I've got a lot of armor too, which really helps. So now, just seeing a big team fight going off, I'm going to try to join in. The fight kind of ends as we totally get pooped on. But now this was a kind of an interesting moment. I saw all of them up there. Like, all four of them are up here. Let's see here. Misfortune went back, but right here I can actually see that Jace is recalling. So I thought, hey, you know what? My pressure here was good. I was pushing the mid lane to try to get them to come back, to get them to stave off their pressure. And as you can see, Draven is now recalling up in the top lane, and Xin Zhao and Soraka are just going to pick up these golems, which is a little bit of a useless endeavor. But, ooh, I actually did not know Jace was there. If I did, I probably would have tried to land a cleaver and get Ashe to come kill him. But right there, just doing some counter pushing to try to prevent the enemy team from pushing our turrets down, pushing into maybe getting an inhibitor top lane. So at this point, just going to go back. My team is all back in our own jungle. There's really no business for me to be still there. Ashe picks up red buff. Maybe should have tried to protect her, but really at this point, I've really transitioned into the role of full-on tank. I got my Warden's Mail. I picked up another Giant's Belt, rocking over 4,000 health. Really starting to tank up like a beast, like Dr. Mundo loves to be played. You know Dr. Mundo loves to tank. He just loves to be an absolute monster who no one can kill. But, at this point, we're definitely up ahead. We've got a pretty big lead, and, just going to try to really end the game here. As Ashe gets to pick up a nice kill on Soraka, not really sure what she was doing, but right here you can see I am absorbing damage. That is good. That is exactly where I want to be. As Lulu, okay, nice job by Lulu, actually, to save herself with her own ultimate. Maybe should have dropped that on J4 or something, but just trying to tank damage, trying to make sure that the damage is being inflicted on me and not on Ashe and not on Garen. And Jarvan is our primary damage dealers. Running in right in the middle, going to try to land some cleavers, then a W. Nice job. One more cleaver, throw it, There it goes. Okay, nice job. Able to pick up an assist there. Good double kill by Jarvan, and there's the ace. So this game is pretty much over. But I hope that this was helpful. I hope that if you're kind of interested in learning how to jungle, that this provides you with some tips. Really, just kind of coming up with a basic route is a good idea. You want to make sure that you run smite. You want to try to get through your jungle efficiently and quickly, and then you also need to try to be very aware of where your lanes are at, and just try to be as helpful as you can to your teammates. You want to be somebody who's facilitating lanes. If somebody disconnects or somebody's getting dumped on in lane, you want to try to help them out as much as you can. Just try to be a presence. Try to be somebody who is there. You know, with Dr. Mundo, he doesn't have a strong gank presence, so if you notice, a lot of my lane presence was responsive. But you know, with somebody who's capable of putting a lot of pressure, you know, try to be in lanes, try to gank, try to keep the other team pinned back at their turrets. You know, to be that presence around the map early game and mid game, where you can really try to be scary, be somebody who is the enemy team is not going to think twice about before they move to make an aggressive move. So I hope you guys enjoyed just some really basic jungling 101, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you soon.